I realized something was wrong when the silence in my house started responding to my thoughts. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just, accurately. At first, it felt comforting. I had moved into the house 6 months earlier, just outside a small town in Ohio. One of those towns where everything closes by 9 and no one asks why you moved there. I needed that. Quiet. Predictability. Somewhere I could hear myself think. The house was older. Single story. No basement. Built in the late 70s. Thin walls. Thick silence. The kind of silence that lets your thoughts echo. That was the first thing I noticed. Not the creaks. Not the pipes. The silence. It wasn't empty. It was attentive. I work from home. Data entry. Long hours. No phone calls. Just me, a laptop, and the house breathing around me. Most days, I didn't speak out loud at all. That's probably why it noticed me so quickly. The first response happened on a Tuesday night. I was sitting on the couch, lights off, TV muted. I like watching with subtitles. Less noise. More control. I remember thinking, very clearly. It's too quiet in here. And immediately, the refrigerator clicked on. Perfect timing. I didn't jump. Didn't feel scared. Appliances cycle. That's normal. But the timing stuck with me. A few nights later, I thought. I should go to bed. And the house settled. A soft creak in the hallway. A distant pop in the walls. Like a response. Again, I ignored it. You ignore things when they don't demand attention. The silence never demanded. It waited. Over the next few weeks, I started noticing patterns. If I thought about the back door, the wind would brush against it. If I focused on the hallway, something would shift there, subtle, quiet. Never footsteps. Never movement. Just acknowledgement. Like the house was letting me know it heard me. The worst part? It never got it wrong. I tested it. I'd sit still and think something specific. The bathroom. A second later. The faint hum of the exhaust fan settling. The bedroom. The house would crack softly above me. Every time, just enough. Never too much. That's how it stayed believable. That's how it stayed inside my head. I didn't tell anyone. Because how do you explain that silence feels intelligent? That it reacts, not to sound, but to intention? The nights got heavier. Not darker. Heavier. Silence started feeling dense, like pressure behind my ears. Sometimes I'd wake up in the middle of the night and know. Without knowing how, that the house was already aware I was awake. No sound would greet me. Just a sense of alignment. Like two systems syncing. I started narrating my thoughts internally. Choosing them carefully. Avoiding certain words. Avoiding certain ideas. Because once, I thought. Don't think about the spare room. And the silence there deepened. Not louder. Not colder. Just, closer. I stopped going near that side of the house. That's when time started misbehaving. I'd sit down to work and suddenly it would be evening. No memory gap. No blackouts. Just continuity without content. Like a video that skips frames but keeps the audio smooth. I began recording myself at night. Not video. Audio only. To capture the silence. Most recordings were nothing. Then I found one file. About 3 hours long. I skipped through it. There were no voices. No sounds. Except. At exactly 2:41 a.m. The silence changed. Not broken. Adjusted. Like a breath being held. Then released. I didn't hear anything. I felt it. The next morning, I noticed something worse. The silence was faster. Thoughts I hadn't finished would get answered. I'd think. This doesn't feel normal. And the sensation of normalcy would rush in. Artificial. Smooth. Too complete. I realized then. It wasn't reacting to fear. It was reacting to awareness. I stopped thinking at night. Or tried to. That's when it pushed back. The silence didn't wait anymore. It anticipated. I'd wake up and already feel watched. Not by eyes. But by attention. Like the house was thinking ahead of me. One night, I sat in the dark and focused on nothing. No words. No images. Just blank. For a fraction of a second. The silence hesitated. That was the mistake. In that hesitation, I felt it. Not a presence. A process. Something vast, passive, and ancient. Not alive. Operational. The silence wasn't responding to me. It was syncing with me. Using my thoughts as timing markers. That's when the house stopped pretending. The walls didn't move. The lights didn't flicker. But the silence became precise. If I thought about standing up, my body felt ready before I moved. If I thought about breathing, the inhale came late. Approved. Scheduled. I wasn't leading anymore. I was following myself. Or something wearing my timing. I tried to leave. The idea formed clearly. I need to get out. The silence tightened. Not around the house. Inside my head. The thought finished itself. You can later. And the urge faded. That's when I understood something terrible. The silence didn't control me. It optimized me. Removed hesitation. Removed doubt. Removed friction. Free will didn't disappear. It became unnecessary. I don't remember falling asleep that night. But I woke up standing in the hallway. Facing the spare room. The door was open. The room was empty. No furniture. No boxes. Just silence so complete it felt solid. I stepped inside. And for the first time, the silence didn't respond. It listened. Deep. Focused. As if waiting for permission. I don't remember what happened after that. I remember being back on the couch. Morning light through the windows. Everything normal. Except the silence followed me now. Outside the house. In the car. At the store. Between thoughts. I understand it better now. Silence isn't the absence of sound. It's the space where decisions are made. And something else has always lived there. Watching. Learning. Waiting for minds quiet enough to hear it back. If you're listening to this, and you've noticed pauses feeling longer than they should. If silence ever feels like it's leaning toward you, don't answer it. Don't test it. Because once it knows you can hear it, it stops responding. And starts leading. Subscribe for more chilling tales. Because the scariest horror isn't what you hear. It's what hears you thinking.